Hello, welcome back to 375 Alive. I am Ryan Speaks Geek.
And I'm David the Dead.
Today we are returning to Tatooine again.
Yes. Yeah, we don't get to Tatooine very much, do we, as Star Wars fans?
It's
and
quite a forgotten and neglected planet out of all of them. But just like the reason we go back to it is because it's awesome. It's what a lot of the based memories are. First, impressions of Star Wars. You think of Tatooine, the cantina, all the aliens that you see. Like, it's very much a huge thing in your brain. Like, yes, we first see the Tantive hallway, but the first alien planet.
Well, it's where we meet Luke for the first time, where we meet Obi-Wan, Han, Chewie. Like, they all come together. The team comes together on Tatooine.
The band. For the band.
Well, yeah. Let's not forget the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to keep this A New Hope focused,
Yes.
because I think that's kind of what Hasbro are doing at the moment this year with their Return to Tatooine push. So yeah, going to look at sort of the characters that we would like to see, maybe not just the characters, but
vehicles, creatures, playsets, or additions to the playset.
Nothing too big, nothing too small.
Exactly.
I'm thinking Womp Rats here.
Yeah. I didn't even think about Womp Rats. Actually. Got a Womp Rat there?
I do not have a Womp Rat.
What? Do you not?
No, it's the...
For the information, by the way, Dave is also in a band called the Womp Rats, and you don't have a Womp Rat.
No, I don't. It's like we need to sort that out.
Yeah, that needs... Even I've got a Womp Rat.
They're hard to come by. They were in that Last Homestead scene.
I got one by accident, so...
Oh,
right. Yeah, well, I bought a Tusken Raider instead of coming with the...
the massive.
Yeah, instead of coming with the massive, weirdly, it came with a Womp Rat.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, I'm not even upset about that.
They're about the same size, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily confused. I mean, someone got very disappointed. Yeah. Hard to bullseye, though. So, return to Tatooine. Obviously, we've got the HasLab Cantina is the big thing that's coming in with multiple figures. And lots of cups. Did we mention about the cups? I think there's a few cups.
But yeah, that's the catalyst for Return to Tatooine.
Exactly.
And it's what Hasbro are centering their push around.
The poster, which we love.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool to have that sort of thing back.
Starting to get filled out. Obviously, we're getting a new land speeder coming, or for what looks like a new land speeder is coming.
Yeah.
Thanks to that German poster reveal. There's new lights. Luke Skywalker on the table here.
There's a street. We've got
the
the street
Mos Eisley
scene.
Streets. Yes.
I really like that.
They look great, don't they?
My tiny-minded quibble was that the droid, the monitor droid, doesn't come with a little stand that you can put the eye in to make him like the separate thing. Because if you're buying multiple, which realistically most people will, it'd be nice to be able to have, rather than just have it in the bucket like it is in the picture, just to be able to have it on the stand as like a separate droid that you could maybe put somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's my one thing, but I'm sure someone will 3D print something that I will end up buying. But the fact that we got the street, I think, is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, how many would you buy?
I'm
definitely one.
I'm at least going to get two. At the very least, I'll be getting two.
We can at least combine them for these sort of videos.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, there's just looking around the room. There's so much Tatooine representation that I would love to get those street scenes.
But that's the thing
expanded.
about sand, though, Dave. It gets everywhere. You know?
It does.
It does. So obviously, let's talk about. I mean, what figures we got here? Obviously, we've got a real mix of, because we have two different perspectives. So I collect obviously retro, vintage, and third party, sort of in that sort of style. You are vintage collection, more modern.
Yeah. So outside of the original Kenner run, yeah, it's all modern after that.
So we've got a bit of a mix of figures here, which I think represents it, because also we've got different eras. So we've got like obviously Kenner. We have got characters that are in sort of backgrounds. We've got ones that were brought in the 97, obviously special editions. Everything is sort of on the table, I think, for A New Hope. Both original pressing of the film and things that have been added later. I will start with, I would love a proper shiny, more articulated asp droid.
Yeah? Okay. And are we talking, when you say that, are you talking retro collection, vintage collection, or just if they do it in any form, you're on board?
Yeah, I think because the nature of the design of it, even if it was highly articulated, it would still look like fairly vintagey, weirdly. I mean, I have got one of these that I have used a liquid chrome pen on, and it came out really well.
I was going to say, they are shiny in the special edition.
Really shiny.
I really appreciate that.
So I think that's cool. And also, it is in the Shadows of the Empire comics.
Okay.
So it's like Darth Vader's training droid is based around the asp-looking model, so they could reuse the mould.
Very nice.
So from a being sort of
Resourceful.
budget. Yeah, exactly, budget friendly. I would like to see us, because I think the fact we got the streets and we've got the land speeder coming.
Yeah.
That's a quite cool new additional scene where the land speeder drives through the streets.
Absolutely, yeah. So okay, so we're on the land speeder. We're going into Mos Eisley then. So we've seen the Asp droid. Anything else that takes your eye in the streets of Mos Eisley?
Ronto.
The Ronto.
I love the Ronto.
We got a great Ronto in the Power of the Force collection.
We did, and I have made a vintage one. So I painted it all up and made it so it works with a vintage Jawa.
Also, more basic colour scheme.
Yep.
Yeah.
One. So again, but an articulated Ronto would be really cool to see, because again they're in it quite a lot now. I didn't realise. I don't know if they've added more, but there seems to be a few Rontos.
They are just there, aren't they? Yeah.
World building.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, but the creature, as a creature, I think it's really cool. We can see they can do dinosaurs very well, because they've done all the, Mattel have done some amazing ones for Jurassic Park. So I think an updated Ronto would be nice. It's a cool little scene. You got the swoop rider that goes and almost drives into it and knocks the Jawa off, and it's a good excuse to pack a Jawa in with it.
You can, any excuse for more Jawas. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, didn't you?
I love the little carded one that's coming with the Tatooine scenes, the little
yes,
drunken
Jawa. Maybe you could add that one on there and it'd be like drunken Ronto driver Jawa. don't drink and Ronto.
Don't drink and Ronto. Ronto's a good shout. We obviously got the two main creatures being a bantha and a dewback. Chances of those coming? Love to see at least one this year.
I don't think we'll get. But the sad thing is, if you're going to get a creature, you're going to get one creature. You're not going to get two.
No.
With the budget that Hasbro are using at the moment for Star Wars, I think the dewback would be more likely.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, out of the two, it'd be a dewback.
But do you think it'd be a new mold, or do you think it'd be the one that?
I think it has to be a new mold. Oh, so we've got a Tatooine set.
Yeah, we're looking over there. That's what
that was like the Legacy Collection era. It looks more like, it doesn't look much like a dewback, from the classic trilogy. More, I think there was one in Attack of the Clones, was it, that walks by? Either Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace that has that sort of shape. But I think the sort of bigger head sort of version from even the Power of the Force did a decent.
Oh yes, I loved that one. The grey, the grey brown kind of one.
But yeah, like a recreation of the Dewback Patrol set would be really cool. I think. If Hasbro got around to it.
So we get through the streets.
The Ubrikian Speeder, which has been done very well by
Stan Solo.
Yeah. But again, no reason why Hasbro can't touch it.
Especially considering they've got the outside of the cantina, like the street links up to the outside of the cantina HasLab.
Yeah. Which
is really cool. So you're right, like to have that there, and it wouldn't have that many moving parts.
No.
It would be effectively a clamshell.
Kind of like a mini rig.
Yes.
Probably an expensive mini rig.
Yeah.
But mini rig size nevertheless. Yeah.
And you've also got the other speeder that's got like spider claws. It's got like wired legs.
Yes.
I don't know what it's called, but there's a dwarf character that's looking around at, like, inspecting it as they're, I think, walking into the cantina. But it's like a spider. It's got like six, well, it wouldn't be a spider if it's got six, but six sort of big long legs like that that come out with flat feet. It's a really unusual little thing. I think it's meant to be a speeder anyway, I'm assuming.
That would be very niche.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Could be too niche.
Hey, it's our show. This is our wish list, isn't it? So, cool. All right. Got to the cantina. Are we going into the cantina?
Before we go into the cantina, I would say some of the droids that are obviously shuffling about out there haven't had a re-release or release in a while, because droids used to be something very easy for Hasbro to churn out, and I suspect because of the Disney Build-A-Droid thing that's got going on with these sets that come out, like the 4-packs for each films and stuff, I feel like that we're getting less droids because of that.
Yeah, I wonder if they just have an agreement that if Disney are producing these, Hasbro won't.
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of crossover every now and then, like they both did Professor Hu Yang, didn't they, from Ahsoka? But yeah, you don't get as many astromechs in or protocol droids.
I've only brought back the Build-A-Droid line. I love the Build-A-Droid, but you've got some of the, like, obviously we got the R5 here. There's ones from like some of the scenes that were deleted as well, but there's like a teal type R2 astromech. There's
One like a really dark blue dome, isn't there, and like a light blue body astromech.
Then you've got the one that's got the red head and the R2D2. I'm pointing over there again to say that. But the R2, the red head and the...
one shows up in Obi-Wan Kenobi and also A New Hope. And again anything from the droid, the Jawas line up when they're purchasing 3PO and R2D2.
A new purchase of the droids pack would be cool, which had R1G4, the Treadwell droid, the domed mine droid. Can't remember his name.
The Lin droid.
Yeah. Obviously a gonk. Got to have a gonk. But you got a gonk with the accessories on that. It's going around Baru's little, down from there. That'd be cool. A re-release of the Wed Treadwell droid, the small one, which is also featured in Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
That one. You've got the light droid that goes across with the clear dome.
So many.
The stovepipe droid that's in the Sandcrawler.
I think
CZ3.
Disney could actually tackle some of these then, couldn't they? Because they do.
Yes.
They do the 4-packs. Maybe for a 50th anniversary, or maybe prior to that, they could do an A New Hope.
They made a CZ3 mold actually. If I'm now thinking about it, so they could
with the parks.
Yeah.
There's no reason they couldn't do that. Yeah. Get them to do a 4-pack. Maybe get Hasbro to do a 4-pack if they actually spoke to each other and maybe doubled their efforts.
Realise that people want to spend money.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, but that would be. I think the droids of Tatooine have been a bit neglected because those droids are really hard to find.
Yeah, as I say, they've generally all been made, but kind of one and done. So if you didn't get them at the time, you're going to be paying a premium for each one, which is a shame. Yeah. Accessories, the moisture evaporator would be, get a whole bunch of those out. Crates,
moisture evaporators. Anything like that. The droid control unit obviously is coming with the cantina.
Yes.
And the distilleries, which is really cool. But here is the droid detection unit, isn't
it?
Yeah,
that's on the way in, isn't it? Yeah.
Because that was weirdly just an accessory done with the Power of the Force 2.
Mine's sitting in my Jabba's palace, kind of acting as almost like an arcade machine. Almost my BG-J38 is
it's a death stick dispenser.
I like it. Yeah.
There we go. Head cannon. Head cannon.
But I've said it before. Tatooine just screams Star Wars, doesn't it?
Yes.
And with that, you need all the little, all those little boxes and accessories that go with it that make up that world. So we're getting the streets. We want to populate the world in front of it.
Exactly. And from a retro perspective, the streets could do with a few more figures, in my personal opinion, because the cantina has definitely got some. I wouldn't mind seeing a vintage Wizzly.
Tackled in retro style.
The female alien who buys the land speeder.
Yeah.
With a really unusual head, but I feel like that'd be quite cool to see in
that would be cool.
A retro perspective, or even in a vintage one, because I think it's been a while since that got released. Yes. But I think that might have been a bit of a peg warmer. I can't remember.
It's funny, isn't it? Because the figures that peg warmed back then are now. I don't think they peg warm these days.
Lee Sub.
Oh yeah, I mean all the Cantina aliens. There was once upon a time you could pick them up quite cheap. Now they've all skyrocketed in price.
So much.
Yeah.
Which seems like a no-brainer if they've got the mould still to re-release, even just some of those. Because some of those moulds hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Praying Mantis figure.
Well, she's only going to stand behind the bar.
Yeah.
Unless you're making different scenes with them, if you're recreating the cantina, then that Mantis figure would just be. Thank you. It would just be behind the bar, wouldn't it? So it's a decent.
Doesn't need too much to
no.
it. So we go into the cantina. Into the cantina. Obviously, Ariel Schultz.
The Wolfman.
Yeah.
They've made, obviously, there's the prototype that they did with the HasLab that didn't
quite reach it, which is a shame. And I think, given the size of it, I still feel like they should have maybe still included it. Even if it was not on the card back, if they just said it will just be in a baggie and you didn't get the exclusive card back.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will release it single.
Well, again, I was just watching the SWTVC's live stream last night, and they just announced the March Madness bracket. Ariel Schultz did very well. Was featured very highly in their top 64. One last figure standing as well a couple of months back. So the collecting community is still voicing their their want for that character.
It's a very iconic thing when it's one of the first things you see when you walk in there, and it's the red eyes.
Even if he got cut out of some of the scenes in the special edition, he's still a prominent. The wolf head is you just know it from the cantina.
And the cool white jacket. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the ski jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wolves can ski too, Daddy, right? We're an open-minded show.
They can do anything they want to do.
Exactly. They can just manifest. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So in the canteen, obviously, we've got the band has been released as a multi-pack.
Yeah.
Would
you see that as a retro release? Would you like to see some cantina
I would
band
like to see a retro cantina band with the accessories. I think the problem with that is I don't know if they would spend the money on the instruments.
Would you, if you were building your retro collection out of the original Kenner cantina, where the cantina band are just picture, aren't they? They're just on the cardboard background. So would you maybe sacrifice those for some other background aliens?
I think I would. I think I would sacrifice the band to maybe get like the four-armed.
Oh,
with the
Neighbouring Leeds. Yeah, again another one that we're getting in HasLab. Another one that Hasbro have done prior to.
Yeah, and I will use what I term like Kenner terms. So, Spaceman.
Boshek, Spaceman.
Cyclops.
Yes.
Elephant Face.
Elephant Face.
Obviously
that's special edition. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Elephant Face. I'm just going by what they'll probably call them. Like, we had Walrus Man.
I think that's a great shout. If they're going to do them in retro collection, give them those Kenner names. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Elephant Face.
Yeah. I think I would like to see some of those. Blue Grey Alien.
You've lost me now. Blue Grey Alien.
The Duros.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know what else you would call them. Blue Longface.
Why the long face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Blue Eyes Red Dragon, Blue Eyes White Dragon. I don't know. I think that obviously a third party is taking care of Muftak. Deck 17's done an amazing retro Muftak, so Cabe to go with Muftak would be awesome. So I think those things like that, I would probably sacrifice the band, a 7-pack or 5-pack of the band to get a 5-pack of different aliens because they would use the same mold for aliens. Cost wise, I would see them more likely to do the band. Because they would only have to pay for one mould and then some instruments.
Maybe. I feel like you've got the 90s Hasbro era as well, which is sort of almost, now that enough time has passed, you could use some of them.
Some people call them vintage and that hurts my soul.
Well, they are 30 years old.
I know. I don't want to admit that. I want to live in ignorance. Yeah. And they're not He-Man band players either, so they do.
Yeah, I mean they actually have the right proportions. So,
yeah, so I think in Cantina wise, I could probably maybe sacrifice the band for more aliens. But what about in regards to for the vintage collection from your perspective? Are there any aliens other than obviously aerial ships that you think need to be re-released or redone?
Well, I mean, just on a personal level, I would love another go at some of those legacy collection figures. I'm missing 3. I know a lot of collectors, are missing several from that era, and Lisa Bson, so the bald-headed girl in the silver outfit.
Yeah, the silver leotard thing.
Hachek Kalfas, the sort of not a Trandoshan, but kind of looks like a Trandoshan character. Anything from that era, sort of late 2000s era, I think those prices have skyrocketed, and I think if you're going to invest in a HasLab, I know the sculpting isn't quite up to today's standards, but I would take a 4-pack just of just some of those sort of greatest hits almost. But yeah, new figures. There's another Duros, wasn't there? There was 2 Duros, so one sort of in more of these sort of wrappings, which I'm sure you could probably just take a
Tatooine chic. We'll call that
Tatooine chic. Yeah. God, there's all sorts of snaggletooth figures you could get out.
There is many, but none that really look like the vintage Kenner snaggletooths. Weirdly, like Zuton.
No.
Is got more like a Tatooine chic in red.
Yeah.
Sort of attire going on and ginger hair.
He's got more. Is he based more on the holiday special? I can't quite get the time.
I can't quite get any of the Snaggletooth. They're a bit of an anomaly, the Snaggletooth figures, because even some of the ones we've got, like, are they based on the things that are actually there? Because then you had the one in the red jumpsuit, the small one from the Power of the Jedi line.
Yes.
That came with the glass. And then they did the special one of him in blue for the Cantina bar packs that they did for at one point. So, but I can't quite pinpoint any of those in the film.
No, they all seem to be different characters from each other. They don't seem to have redone any. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, absolutely.
We could just release one called a definitive Snaggletooth. But yeah, so I think that's in the Cantina.
The Devil Man as well. Sorry, like
has he not been?
No. Oh well, we've got like a Power of the Force era one.
Well, I remember that from the 3-pack that came with Zuton and four-armed.
Yes.
Gas mask.
So he would have had like a repaint in like 2007, but nothing. He's not got like the.
No. Oh yeah,
the
they did
super
repaint some of those at one point, didn't they? Because they put Cave in with four-armed gas mask.
Yeah, so some of them got, but again, it's just a paint job.
Using
they are 90s
Kenner names, four-armed gas mask and Batmouse. It works.
It works.
So okay, so we leave the Cantina.
Yeah.
Now, do we head to the docking bay? Because on the way to the docking bay, obviously, that's when we get the alleyway scenes, which we can use those streets for if we want to, and bring them in a little close quarters. And there's a few little aliens, and then there's the deleted scenes, and there's a weird giant-legged alien that we never see the body of, which I'd be intrigued to see.
Would you just get the legs?
Just the legs. Just a pair of legs that clip to a false ceiling, and the other character that can run through them. Yeah. But you've got that weird droid that's got like an eye-shaped blue head.
Yes.
A silver body, like a treadwell base, and two like tiny
kind of like Lost in Space sort of.
Really 70s looking.
One. Mm.
And there's another like R1G4 type unit that goes past in the background at one point.
Yes.
And just some random people in Tatooine chic.
Yeah.
I'm making Tatooine chic a thing. It's happening. So like, that would be a pretty boring use of figures, I guess. But you could maybe head swap some old Lukes. Now we've got a brand new Luke farm boy. Maybe you can head swap some old Lukes.
We got Cammy and Fixer, didn't we? Like,
yes.
I mean, they'll be populating my streets for sure.
Also now in Book of Boba Fett, so you know they've got
Book of Boba Fett.
Definitely canon now.
Yes.
Take that, deleted scenes.
Yeah.
So we've got that. So creature-wise, obviously we've established we don't. I think the Bantha will be a hard one because of the fur element to it. Yeah. The cost of the fur and how they can make it look good. Because weirdly, the best looking one, I still think is the Power of the Force 2 one, rather than the one where they made it all matted.
Yeah, I mean,
just the matting made it.
There must have been a production error with that. They couldn't. That can't have been what they actually had their mind set on with that version. I mean, I don't have either, so.
I had the Power of the Force 2 one originally, and it was awesome, and that looked fine to me. The matted one, I didn't like. I didn't even bother trying to pick that one up. But I have got now the vintage style Stan Solo one, which looks
great, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it so much. That's my definitive one.
Why didn't you bring that round?
Sorry. Next time we'll do a Beast episode anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Beast episode. Playset wise, I think there's room to, if they've still got the moulding for the house, the homestead. With a new, rather than that thin vacuum formed piece of cheapy plastic base, maybe a new base for it to sit on, or maybe no base at all, just the homestead. But the homestead was a really cool, just moulded thing to have for a diorama. And since we are in an era where we've moved from playset to dioramas, as we said before, like I think we have dioramas rather than playsets now. I think that would fit in well. Even now, they could weather it up a little bit, but
yeah, absolutely. The homestead. You can have the land speeder parked outside. You can have the droid line up, just set away from it.
A new Rue, a new Owen.
I'd love to see them tackled again. I don't see it happening.
Might get some skeletons with the. Too soon. Pour some blue milk out for Owen and Baru.
Yeah, they really do stick out, don't they? They're not quite. They're not vintage enough looking for like the Kenner era figures, and they're just not up to where we are now with articulation. But
yeah, I just think the Return of the Tatooine, the two of the characters that popped into my head first for like in desperate need of an update. But
well, if you could get them out in a playset, then that might be the way to do it. Yeah, like the homestead.
Do you know what would really annoy you though? They'd be in a playset.
Yeah, they'd be packy. They'd be.
But they packed it in the car, and you'd have to buy two, and you'd have two large homesteads. So that's yeah. I think with Return to Tatooine, I think that's about it for what I think I would want to see. Because weirdly, it is one of the more fleshed out areas. So there isn't big gaps, but the gaps that are there feel big.
Well, even just A New Hope, you've got 3PO and R2D2 landing. So you can have an escape pod, you can have them just in the desert together. You can have R2D2 being captured by the Jawas in that little cabin. You can have C3PO. Well, okay, you can have the droid line up when they meet Obi-Wan and
3PO should have a detachable arm though.
Yeah. Yes.
Because of the scene with obviously where he falls off the Tusken Raiders.
Well, yeah. I mean that's another set, isn't it? With Tusken Raiders, and great to get some more of those released. Then you've got Obi-Wan's hut. We haven't even touched on that. You've got Mos Eisley, the streets, the cantina.
Yeah, so that's the Return to Tatooine.
Yeah,
that's our picks. What about you guys? What do you feel is missing? What would you like reissued? What do you think is, what would you say, not up to par? And what do you think about including figures like things from the 1970s? The 1997 special edition. So yeah.
Well, yeah, like the modern line has been around for 30 years. The the action figure line has been around for more than 40 years. There's collectors coming into this at different eras, so we all want different things now. But for a Return to Tatooine, yeah, I think we all want something different out of it.
Yes.
So yeah, we'd love to know what you guys think. Drop a comment below, like the video if you like what you've seen so far.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, we'll see you on the next 375 Alive. Bye.